Here he is, the DTM champ 2014, Marco Whitman. But even though the championship title is already snatched away by him, one title is still open, the manufacturer title. Thus, of course, it's going to be fought really hard this weekend. And we've got so many stars here at Hockenheim Ring. We've got Bastian Schweinsteiger, David Coulthard, Lewis Hamilton. Nobody wants to miss it here, obviously. And on top of all the action here, we've got blue skies and a lot of sun. So what else could we ask for? Here are the highlights. Enjoy.
Thank you, Verena. We plan to. So, packed grandstands and temperatures worthy of the summer make for a perfect setting for the season finale in Hockenheim, an event the VIPs were never going to miss. The celebrities trackside include Lewis Hamilton here, giving his boss Toto Wolff just 1 or 2 donuts. Nico Rosberg also here, so too David Coulthard, as we can see now. Jean Lacey makes an appearance as well and signs autographs for the fans. DTM legend Bernd Schneider in the garage. There's Gerhard Berger. And the footballing star Bastian Schweinsteiger here as well. All looking forward to a thrilling race from the likes of Christian Vitorius, best Mercedes-Benz driver in the overall standings. This is Paul Teresta, DTM champion in 2010 and the winner here in that year. This is his first season back in DTM after his stint in Formula One. Pascal Wehrlein, the youngest ever winner of a DTM race, Lausitzring this season. Miguel Molina, third at the Hockenheim Ring in 2011. That was his best ever DTM result thus far. Jamie Green, he won here back in 2007 and also in 2011. With Wolfgang Ulrich there. Mike Rockefeller, the outgoing DTM champion, third overall this year. Matthias Ekstrom, second in the standings, and the winner in Zandvoort. The DTM champion for 2014, Marco Whitman. Augusto Farfus, he was the winner of the 2013 season opener here in Hockenheim. And last but not least, Timo Glock. There he is. He was the winner of the finale here last year, and he's going to take us on a hot lap of the Hockenheim circuit.
Put your hands on the wheel. Hello, I'm Timo Glock, and we are already again here in Hockenheim for the last race of the DTM season. And I have the chance to show you one lap around the Hockenheim Ring in that simulator here. Boom. Press start. So we are here in Hockenheim for one lap in the simulator. So we arrive here turn 1. It's a very quick corner. 4th or 5th gear in a DTM car. You need to watch out for the track limits, which is very difficult to get the car in the right position. Second corner, very difficult in terms of the braking. You see, I just already was a bit too late. Lost it on the exit of the corner, so I lost a lot of speed, which you need down to the hairpin through the parabolica, which is a perfect possibility to use DRS and to overtake someone in the race. So braking is here very important. Hard downshifts. Need to get the car right, position it right, and try to get the maximum speed out of the corner to take all the speed down to the Mercedes arena, which is a very quick right-hander here. Easy flat with 220 Ks. Braking into the Mercedes arena, another hard braking, second gear. Try to be early on power again, take all the speed out of the Mercedes arena, which is flat in the DTM car. Into the stadium, another quick corner, 5th gear, or even 4th, depends on. Here we do it in 4th. Then to the Sachs corner, 2nd gear, very difficult in a DTM car to get the car right. Totally different line to Formula One. And then the last complex, a very long double right-hander, where you need to place the car again in the right position for the last corner, early on power, and then take all the speed down to start and finish.
Audi has plenty of reasons to smile at Hockenheim. The first 3 places on the grid all go to the mark with the 4 rings. Miguel Molina secures the final pole position of the year. Like in 2011, the young Spaniard is the fastest in qualifying for the finale.
Yeah, it feels really good, especially here in the last race of the season. It's my second time that I've achieved this, so it's always positive, and especially because today I think it's a good day for Audi. We are in the top 3, and that's always positive.
Behind Molina, Matthias Ekstrom and Eduardo Mortara in 2nd and 3rd place ensure that spirits are upbeat in the Audi camp. Both drivers still have chances of claiming the runner-up spot in the drivers' standings and now have all the trumps in their hands. A good end to the season seems possible.
In the end, I'm pretty happy with the result, to be on the front row, and everything is open for tomorrow.
The Mark from Ingolstadt has great ambitions of securing the manufacturer's title. 6 drivers in the top 8, a clear signal to BMW that the battle is on. The teams from Munich turn in a rather disappointing performance at the Hockenheim ring. Only Augusto Farfus secures a normal result. The Brazilian will start from 4th place behind the Audi trio.
Of course, fighting with all these Audis around would be easy, but I think the race a lot can happen. So we should not really, we have to consider that all the cars which we are around of us, but we have an advantage. We have more points than Audi, and we have good cars coming from the back. So then a lot of things can happen.
Pascal Wehrlein is again the fastest Mercedes-Benz driver. The youngster will be starting Sunday's final race of the season from 5th place. There's a setback though for Christian Vitorius, only 22nd place on the grid and a bad position for his battle for the runner-up spot in the drivers' standings.
Difficult qualifying. Last row is obviously not at what we expected. Difficult Saturday, but we try to do our best tomorrow.
We find an unusual situation this season, as for the first time Marco Whitman fails to make it into Q3, eventually has to make do with 13th place. For the confirmed champion, the strategy will be to charge ahead and score as many points as possible for the 3rd title of the season.
I mean, tomorrow's a new day. We're going to push and go for points.
Here's the qualifying result for the season finale at Hockenheim at a glance. Audi with a really strong team performance. Next to the trio in front, Jamie Green, Mike Rockefeller and Timo Scheider are also in the top 8. Paul Teresta will start from 10th place behind Antonio Felix da Costa. Robert Wickens tops the 2nd half of the grid in 12th place. For BMW, 3 cars are already eliminated after the first qualifying heat. Martin Tomczyk, last year's winner Timo Glock and Joey Hand are all out and will start in 19th to 21st place. The manufacturer's title is the goal. The battle between Audi and BMW ensures maximum excitement during the season finale. The Hockenheim ring is the perfect backdrop to round off the 30th anniversary season.
Now I'm here with Toto Wolff. Now 2014 is almost over. At the beginning of the season, most people said, well, it's going to be really tough for Mercedes-Benz. It's not looking that well. But quite frankly, you've got 3 victories. You've got Pascal Wehrlein as the youngest winner of all times, and Christian Vitorius is still fighting for the 2nd place in the championship. So it's not so bad, right?
Yeah, if you look at the results, it wasn't so bad. Winning 3 races looks like being quite competitive, but the truth is we started the season on the back foot. We had a gap of almost 7/10 to our competitors, and we caught up a lot. And especially, I'm very proud about those victories because they were done under difficult conditions, rainy conditions in Oschersleben, for example. But then Lausitz ring was real performance, and I think we've found a lot of time. We've developed the car. We were able to develop the car. But it was a difficult season, so I'm actually happy if we can have a good result, close the chapter 2014 and fully concentrate on 2015.
Right now, you already mentioned the car you developed, or you continued developing the car during the season, and Christian Vitorius was already able to drive it in Zandvoort. But now here at Hockenheim ring, everyone's going to drive it today. What are the first impressions? What do you think? How's it going?
I think it's a good car. We've developed the car aerodynamically, in vehicle dynamics. We understood the tire a little bit more, but in DTM it's so close. We had 6 cars in 1.5 tenths today, and you need to find the sweet spot of the tire, the sweet spot of the setup, and in order to achieve that, you need to test the car. You need to understand the car, and this is not done within a day. So it needs time. I'm quite happy with the product, with the basic product, the performance. There seems to be performance in the car, but it's not where we want to be yet.
All right. Thank you very much, Toto Wolff.
Thank you.
The DTM final is always a very, very busy one, and that's certainly the case with race fans. Tens of thousands have packed into Hockenheim, whether it's in the grandstands or whether it's down on the grid. They're all expecting and anticipating a fantastic race in the sunshine here at Hockenheim. Plenty of celebrities here as well, including Lewis Hamilton, who's chosen as a passenger his Mercedes boss, Toto Wolff. And Lewis now will demonstrate his prowess at driving sideways and getting the back end of that Mercedes lit up nicely. I'm not absolutely convinced that's a smile on Toto Wolff's face or a look of abject fear as Lewis kicks up some dust then around the circuit here in Hockenheim. A very welcome visitor indeed. So the Drivers' Parade is something that starts every DTM race, whether it's the grand finale or not. Basically, the fans getting the opportunity to wave and salute their stars as they make their way around the track. And see there Mike Rockefeller going through. There's Edo Mortara with his sunglasses on and big chat with Tom Bay. Jamie Green and Nico Muller are next through. A serious look on Jamie Green's face, that's for sure. We can see Maxime Martin. And, of course, the new champion, the 2014 champion Marco Wittmann alongside Maxime Martin there. And Martin Tomczyk and Bruno Spengler with the young star of the future sitting between them, and the Mercedes drivers aboard the truck. There's Vitaly Petrov to the very left of your screen. It's always a fantastic sight, and the fans absolutely love it. Down there on grid then, each of the cars has a grid girl. And final preps to the hair there. Very lovely indeed. Right, let's take a look at some of the drivers then in amongst the crowds down there on the grid. Here is Christian Vitorius in the Mercedes-Benz qualifying in P22. Now, the yellow indicator at the very right-hand side of the graphic tells you that he will be running the first stint of the race on the Hankook option tyres. So there is Christian Vitorius from P22. From P19, it's going to be Timo Glock. Final handshakes. And Timo Glock choosing to run with the standard tyre in the first stint of the race. P14 then it is for Bruno Spengler, who we will see next there in the BMW bank car. So Bruno Spengler goes from P14. And then, of course, it was a torrid qualifying for the 2014 DTM champion Marco Wittmann, who will be starting from P13. What can Marco do from there? Well, we are about to find out. In the meantime, the pole sitter and Verena Wright is down there alongside the car.
The man of the moment is Miguel Molina. He's just getting ready, getting into the car. And as we know, he's had 3 poles in his career, almost 4, but that was snatched away from him again. So 3 poles, but it never worked out for a victory. So now he's super extra special focused. So it's not possible to get an interview with him, which is absolutely understandable because he is focusing on the race and hoping his best. He's going to try his best and push really hard to get his first victory in his career, because of course, especially in Hockenheim at the finale, that would be fantastic for him.
It would be, and what an audience to have to witness that first victory. P10 then is Paul Teresta, the former Formula 1 star, returns to DTM, and he goes from P10. P9, it's the BMW driver, Antonio Felix da Costa. You can see the clear blue skies that here at Hockenheim. Antonio Felix da Costa running on the standard tyres then from P9. Next up, it's going to be P8, and that falls to Timo Scheider. Final preparations for Timo Scheider then before he climbs into the car. P8, Timo Scheider. And he chooses the option tyres for the first stint of the race. Next up, it'll be Mike Rockefeller. There he is. Mike Rockefeller goes from P7. The outgoing champion, of course. He's opted for the standard tyres for the first stint of the race on his Audi. Pascal Wehrlein is P6. He's choosing to go with the option tyres. Tell that from the yellow indication. So Pascal Wehrlein, who, of course, enjoyed his first DTM victory this season, and in so doing, the youngest ever DTM winner. Okay, up next, P5, Jamie Green, the all-orange Audi of Jamie Green. As you can see from the yellow Hankook on that tyre, Jamie choosing to go with the option tyres for the first stint of the race. With Farina now is Dieter Gas from Audi. Let's hear what he has to say ahead of the race.
Dieter Gas, very interesting. We just saw the thumbs up for Molina, so obviously you're hoping there for the best. But you've got an interesting strategy because you've got your 2 top drivers on standard and the other 4 on option.
Yes, I mean, I think you see in the whole field there's quite a few standard starters around, and I think everybody has the same fear about a safety car. We have seen all the support races this weekend. You had many safety car events. I think it's kind of a reaction to the accident of Jules Bianchi. You don't want to see anything like that. So you could expect that anytime a car goes into gravel bed, the safety car will come out. And I think in order to be best prepared, we had to split our strategy between the cars.
All right, so despite the fact that you're hoping for victory, also you're going for the manufacturer title, right? It's looking good, I guess.
Yeah, for the time being, it's looking good. But, I mean, we have the race to do still, all the laps, and a lot of things can happen. We have seen that we seem to have victory in our hands in Oschersleben, for example, and it faded away because of a safety car. So I just hope we have a clean race, a nice race, and then it'll be okay.
Good to get the thoughts of Dieter Gas ahead of the start of the race. So let's do the 4 through to 1 then on the grid. And P4 is Augusto Farfus in the BMW. Then to Eduardo Mortara, who is P3. And it was interesting to hear during the conversation between Dieter Gas and Farina that Audi choosing to split the strategy with regards to tyre choice for the start of the race and how that will pan out. Because for the first time we're seeing front runners choosing to go with the standard tyres, I think for the first time in DTM 2014. And Matthias Ekstrom, another one of those that's choosing to go on the standard tyre, and be interesting to see how that fares against the option tyre. That tyre being the preferred choice of our pole sitter, Miguel Molina. There he is. So a number of VIP guests are at the DTM finale. That's kind of traditional as well, and one of those is Lewis Hamilton with Farina now.
It's fantastic to have you here at the DTM, and it's a big finale. What are you expecting for the race?
I'm so excited to be here. And such a great crowd. I hope that we have a good race. I hope Mercedes can get close to the front and if not win.
And speaking of Mercedes, Formula One, I mean, you've already won the manufacturer title, and now it's up to you to take the title home. It's going to be a really thrilling 3 last races with you and Nico. Are you confident to take the title home?
I feel just the same as I did in the last few races. I feel good. I think it's going to be tough for sure, but keep my fingers crossed.
Great to see Lewis here. Let's go through the grid for you then in full in animation. Molina and Matthias Ekstrom, then the Audi lockout on the front row of the grid. The next row sees Eduardo Mortara and Augusto Farfus, the best placed BMW driver from qualifying. Then it's Jamie Green, P5, and Pascal Wehrlein, best placed Mercedes from qualifying. Another Audi lockout in the next row. It's Mike Rockefeller and Timo Scheider. Then we see Antonio Felix da Costa and Paul Teresta alongside him, P9 and P10. Adrian Tombe and Robert Wickens occupy the next row of the grid. Then it is the champion, Marco Wittmann, with Bruno Spengler alongside. Maxime Martin, winner in Russia, with Gary Paffett. Then we see Daniel Juncadella and Nico Muller, P17, P18. Timo Glock and Martin Tomczyk on the next row. Then it's Joey Hand and Christian Vitorius. Torrid quali for Christian Vitorius. And Vitaly Petrov is P23. That's the grid in full for you. And now the tension begins to build with, first of all, the BMW garage, and Jens Marquardt there in discussion. And Wolfgang Ulrich and Dieter Gas, along with our footballing star, who's there. And Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes garage. So across the 3 manufacturers, the tension builds at the start of this, the final race for 2014. And the lights go out. No, there's a real bog down for Eduardo Mortara. There was just some information coming through that perhaps there was a problem with the clutch during his formation lap. Everyone gets around okay, but Molina and Matthias Ekström. Eki was just briefly in the lead. Now Molina runs wide and Jamie Green might be looking up the inside of Matthias Ekström. Bear in mind, Matthias Ekström running on the standard tyres. Jamie Green is on the option tyres. Therefore, Jamie will have advantage in the grip stakes as behind. There's a lot of jostling for positions, but look where Mortara is. What an absolutely horrific start for Eduardo Mortara. To the pinch point, the hairpin, and surely Jamie Green will just sail through now. Matthias Ekström will be absolutely powerless. Bear in mind they're from the same manufacturer, but the tyre choices between those two definitely favour Jamie Green in the early stages of the race because he's on the options the quickest. Now there you can see Mortara initially gets away, then bogs down. Jamie Green goes through the middle, so too does Pascal Wehrlein with a great start. Mike Rockefeller tucked up behind Timo Scheider. And this is where Eki, well, he was in front at that point. Then Molina fights back as Antonio Felix da Costa and many others run wide. Let's see it from on board with Eduardo Mortara. There you can see it just bogged down, reinforcing the information that perhaps we're being fed that maybe a clutch problem for Eduardo Mortara as he watches a whole train of cars come past him. Some fantastic shots from on board. He runs wide as well, and that just compounds the problems that he's having. This from Matthias Ekström's car as Jamie Green goes through to take up the lead. So Bastian Schweinsteiger enjoying the start of the race there. We're on board with Pascal Wehrlein now as he moves up a further place. So now it's Audi, Mercedes-Benz P1, P2, and Matthias Ekström on the standard tyres is making life very difficult for Augusto Farfus, who should, around the Parabolica, be able to get the run on Matthias Ekström. And then there will be a dive up the inside towards the hairpin here. Augusto Farfus scrubs off the speed and goes through on the inside of Matthias Ekström. Also going through Molina as well. And now Molina and Ekström absolutely side by side. Molina losing out at the very, very start of the race. There you can see Wehrlein, Farfus and Molina, and we're on board once again with Matthias Ekström. Now, it was always known that he was going to lose positions at the start of the race, but it's what his lap time is going to be relative to those that are on the option tyres. So we can see Matthias Ekström hard at work inside the car there, and here a replay of Christian Vitorius, whose day is going from bad to worse as he runs wide. Marco Whitman then trying to move up the order as well. Marco Whitman also one of those on standard tyres. Christian Vitorius, that's his wide run there at the hairpin. Not great news for Vitorius, who was gunning for P2 in the championship, and of course his qualifying didn't go according to plan. Okay, Daniel Juncadella here then up on Matthias Ekström. And Matthias Ekström now absolutely floors it. He's not going to make it easy for Danny Juncadella, but also he's not going to get involved in ridiculous battles, which he knows he cannot win because of the tyre choice. So Juncadella goes through, and let's see this in replay. Now this is where Eki's huge experience paid off, because the switchback, he just got it very, very easily. But now, as you can see, he just says, look, get on with it. I don't want to be involved in fighting with you because I can never win that battle. So huge experience from Matthias Ekström. And Hans-Jürgen Abt, I wonder if he's beginning to question the strategy that they put Eki on in terms of tyres. Don't know. Right, there's Wehrlein. There is Augusto Farfus, with a pair of Audis following the Mercedes and the BMW. So to the hairpin they go, and Timo Scheider there alongside Molina. This is the battle for P4, which Scheider goes through to occupy P4 now, relegating Molina to P5 ahead. Augusto Farfus and Pascal Wehrlein, as you can see, and Jamie Green a full 2 seconds up the road now. So this was Scheider going through very, very close to Augusto Farfus, but did that very, very well, did Timo Scheider, another hugely experienced DTM racer. So first to change then is going to be Bruno Spengler, who's in 14. That is early, or earlier than expected. He goes on to the standard tyre now. Quick stop, though, for Spengler, 2.3 seconds, as Christian Vitorius is now battling here. He has Matthias Ekstrom ahead of him. These two really gunning for P2 in the championship. Matthias Ekstrom and Christian Vitorius going into this, the final race at Hockenheim, and Vitorius goes through. Vitorius, of course, on the advantageous rubber, so Ekstrom deciding it's just not worth having this huge battle. He's really hoping that the race will come to him in the second half. Graphics change on the left-hand side of your screen to reflect the fact that Vitorius has now moved up into P7 ahead of Matthias Ekstrom around the Sachs curve. And now Gary Paffett and Eduardo Mortara having a battle here. And this is way, way down the order for P16. Mortara then with a problem with the clutch. And let's see it in replay. This is Gary Paffett up the inside at the hairpin then. Well, there's contact, yes there is. We can see one of the little aero fins flying off there. I think that was probably off the front of Paffett's car rather than Eduardo Mortara's car. So Eduardo Mortara with some damage on the left-hand side at the front as well. So Jamie Green leads now with 9.5 seconds over Pascal Wehrlein, who's P2. Scheider is P3, Juncadella is P4. There'll be a whole queue coming into the pit lane as we reach lap 20 of the 42 here to come off those option tyres and onto the standards. Here comes Wehrlein and Scheider from P2 and P3 then. Ahead of them, Jamie Green has pitted also. Need a good time out of the crew here. 3.6 seconds, not as quick as the Bruno Spengler one we saw as Scheider and Wehrlein make their way down the pit lane now. We run the clock on both of them, and Scheider is quick. Scheider is away ahead of Wehrlein. Oh, there's nearly a collision. Wehrlein and Scheider are side by side down the pit lane. Something is going to have to give. Surely Wehrlein is going to have to yield. No, it's Scheider that yields. Well, Scheider came so close to moving up the order a further place. But Wehrlein, well, he stayed committed down the pit lane. Be interesting to see what the stewards make of that. Oh, and there we have it then. Under investigation, car number 25, Pascal Wehrlein, a potential unsafe release. Okay, well, time will tell, but for the moment, Pascal Wehrlein retains that position on track ahead of Timo Scheider. So, well, Scheider was definitely running and was in the fast lane. Scheider was on the move before Pascal was released. Whether the race officials will take the view that he should not have been released at that point, well, we will find out in due course. That in replay for you, and well, Wehrlein was not going to give an inch, was he? It may come back to haunt him. So, 25.6 seconds off the leader is Matthias Ekstrom, and yes, Pascal Wehrlein gets a drive-through penalty. So, Eki P9, now P8 on the options, Jamie Green in the lead. Here's Wehrlein in to serve his drive-through penalty then, and this race absolutely ruined now because deemed to have an unsafe release, causing a drive-through penalty, and that is going to push him way, way down the order. This is the Maxime Martin car with damage. And in replay here, we can see the damage is perhaps even larger than we first thought. This in replay then is where the damage gets caused. That's Martin to our left from this onboard shot. And there's a huge, huge gash in the side of that car. That, I'm sure, is going to be the end of Maxime Martin's race. Let's go on board with Matthias Ekstrom then, who's chasing down Danny Juncadella. Well, the lock-up there really, really helped, and now with the benefit of the tyres and the DRS as well, Eki is just going to sail past Danny Juncadella, and Mike Rockefeller's going to try and do exactly the same. There you can see the DRS wing deployed around the parabolica. And here comes Mike Rockefeller as well. Juncadella, could you lose 2 places here? Indeed he does, so the 2 Audis get past the Mercedes-Benz. And here we can see it in replay. That was the lock-up, which actually sent Danny Juncadella wide. Now, Eki's on superior tyres, and he's going to have the benefit of DRS behind Danny Juncadella around the parabolica to take advantage anyway, but Danny Juncker making the job a little bit easier for Matthias Ekström by locking up and running wide, and Mike Rockefeller able to take advantage as well. Next in the order then, the target sights of Matthias Ekström is Bruno Spengler, as he's picking them off on his way up the order here. And, well, how much of a defence is Bruno Spengler going to put up here? Well, not much, truthfully, as Ekström just goes through. Takes a completely different line, and he is through on Bruno Spengler, and Mike Rockefeller will do exactly the same as they head around the final turn and up onto the start-finish straight here. And here comes Mike Rockefeller right now around the Sud curve up. And Rocky will dive up the inside. No, he won't. He'll go to the... Well, bit of weaving going on there by Mike Rockefeller, that's for sure. So he'll find a way past Bruno Spengler. Bruno's got nothing to offer in terms of defence because Mike's on the superior option tyres in this, the second half of the race. It's what the rate of degradation is going to be in these option tyres, or on these option tyres for the second half of this race. But at the moment, Matthias Ekström is picking them off. He's up to P5, and he has Molina ahead of him next. Now, Molina won't pose too much of a problem. Augusto Farfus, that might be a different story in P3. On board with the champion, Marco Wittmann, who's down there in P11. He too on the option tyres now is going to go past Christian Vitorius. And next up there is the returning Pascal Wehrlein, returning, of course, following the drive-through penalty for the unsafe release. Paul Teresta on a charge as well. Just saw him in shot. So there is Paul Teresta. AMG across the bonnet of that Mercedes-Benz. And Paul Teresta on Vitorius. Paul Teresta goes through and up another place. Marco Wittmann also charging hard. Wants to finish the season on a high. Of course, already the champion, but well, there, no surprise, the Maxime Martin car being retired. We thought that that would probably be the case. So guided into the garage there and the end of the season for Maxime Martin. So on board with Matthias Ekström now, who has Miguel Molina. No problem getting past Molina. Next in the sights, though, is Augusto Farfus in the Castrol Edge BMW. That's not going to be quite such an easy ask, to be truthful, though. Molina didn't just wave him through, and it's great that Audi appear to be letting their drivers race. And Ekström now, as Mike Rockefeller goes through. Ekström now on Augusto Farfus Parabolica, superior tyres, DRS as well. Farfus puts the BMW right in the middle of the road, and Matthias Ekström, well, he does get past. Not sure Mike Rockefeller's going to be able to make it happen. Perhaps he'll dive up the inside. No, he's not going to dive up the inside. He's right behind Farfus. And here in replay is, oh, that was a bit clunky between Joey Hand and Eduardo Mortara, as Mortara's day goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? Let's see it from a different angle here. Well, to be fair, I think from that angle, Joey Hand had the inside, and whether Edo just didn't know he was there or not. And there, Hans-Jürgen Abt is not going to be any more cheerful over that, is he? So that is the end of the race for Eduardo Mortara. The car goes into the garage. Day that promised so much for Eduardo Mortara. Now past Scheider goes Ekström into P2. Mike Rockefeller goes through as well. Now the hunt is on. Whether Matthias Ekström can get on terms with Jamie Green in the 8 laps that we have remaining. That's how he got past Timo Scheider. Around the Sachs curve. Meantime, Marco Wittmann, the champion, on Molina. This for P6. Wittmann on the faster rubber, but Molina denying him at the moment. Don't think he can deny him now, though, as Marco Wittmann does go through for P6. There we can see him at work inside the BMW, and out is Danny Juncker. So Danny Juncker has clattered into the tyre barrier there. Now, if this provokes a safety car, just what I was going to say, well, Jamie Green's lead will count as naught. Juncker completely on his own there. Skates across the gravel. Ends up just glancing the tyre barriers. So, restart from the safety car. and Jamie Green. We have 3 Audis here, Green, Ekstrom and Rockefeller. And, well, Jamie is on the standard rubber now. Matthias Ekstrom, I think he would have caught him anyway, but aided by the safety car. It's whether now Jamie Green, what is his best hope? As Marco Wittmann moves up another place on Timo Scheider, and Paul Teresta is in that mix as well. And Teresta has a go at Wittmann here. They are absolutely side by side. Ignore the safety car in this lap, it's already in. Jamie Green now tries to defend against Matthias Ekstrom. They are, of course, both running for the same manufacturer. Eki is going to go through to take the lead. Is he going to take 2 out of 2 at the close of the season? He won at Zandvoort. Is he going to win here at Hockenheim? Well, it certainly looks like it. Jamie Green down to P2. Can Mike Rockefeller get past Jamie Green? Well, time will tell. We just saw at the back of the last shot, I think it was Paul Teresta actually got past Marco Wittmann as well. So Paul Teresta will, yes, Paul Teresta is in P4. So it's whether Paul Teresta can get on terms with Mike Rockefeller and Jamie Green here. It's almost inevitable that Mike Rockefeller is going to get past Jamie Green. It's whether Teresta can get on terms as well and try and wrestle away the final podium place. So there's Rocky on Jamie Green. Audi are allowing their drivers to jostle and joust out there, which is great. Now just look how much Eki has put on Jamie Green since he's got past. Mike Rockefeller is certainly not being waved through by Jamie, and this is playing into the hands of Paul Teresta. We could be seeing a podium for Paul Teresta here, or is it going to be an Audi lockout? We are on the last lap. It's going to be a real fraught fight to the finish. Mike Rockefeller takes a look at Jamie Green. And surely Jamie is, whilst he'll try and make the Audi as wide as possible, he's not going to be able to deny Mike Rockefeller coming through. They are absolutely nose to tail here. Jamie right in the middle of the road as you would expect, but now heavy braking for the hairpin. Now is when Jamie Green needs to shut the door to try and prevent the Mercedes wrestling away the final podium place. The heli shot gives us, well, some fantastic images of the hairpin as the action unfolds. There's Rocky then, and just look at Paul Teresta. He's right in the back of Jamie Green. So remember back to Norris Ring, where Jamie Green denied Paul Teresta. What is going to happen here? We're into the final lap of the race. Jamie Green needs to make the Audi as wide as possible. And, well, it will be an Audi lockout on the podium for the race if he is able to deny Paul Teresta. So there is Jamie Green, but here is going to be Matthias Ekstrom to take the win. It's 2 out of 2 because he won in Zandvoort. Mike Rockefeller P2. Jamie Green is going to be P3. A delighted man will be Dieter Gas from Audi.
What an exciting race. Congratulations. A triple victory for Audi and manufacturer title. Should be happy.
Yes, I am. Definitely. I mean, at the end, the safety car, definitely we didn't need that. We seem to be safe, and then all of a sudden you have to be afraid again that something can go wrong. But I think the drivers did an excellent race. They played it fair, and we're really happy today.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, Dieter Gas.
Well, Matthias Ekstrom, as he heads towards Wolfgang Ullrich, absolutely delighted with his victory. Congratulated too by the champion, Marco Wittmann. And there is a very happy Jamie Green, a well-deserved podium for Jamie Green. And the result in full for you, Eki, Rocky and Jamie Green, the top 3, Paul Teresta P4. What a fantastic end to the 2014 season for DTM. What a race we have had. Here's our race winner now with Verena.
Eki, congratulations, a fantastic race. You fought so hard in the end. You're up on the podium, first place, and you're second in the championship. Is it a sunny day for you?
Yeah, I think it's quite nice. And I mean, after a year with some highs and lows, we could at least end on a high, which is pretty nice. Yesterday qualifying was good. Had a good start of the race and could more or less do my pace in the standard tires without losing too much. And then in the end, I saw Jamie. I got the times. I knew I would catch him if nothing special would happen. But then the safety car spiced it up a bit, but was actually not so difficult.
There is the race podium then as Matthias Ekstrom receives his trophy. He's chuffed to bits with that, and rightly so. Well done, Matthias Ekstrom. Well done, Audi. Hans-Jürgen Abt receives his trophy then. It's going to be pretty chuffed as well. Didn't look it on the pit perch at times during the course of the race. We were able to bring you those shots. He's a happier chap now. Great heli shot. And just look at the crowd down there on the track then. As Mike Rockefeller, the outgoing champion, and what a champion he's been, Mike Rockefeller, all smiles as he receives his trophy. Jamie Green, so deserving of P3. Wasn't convinced, particularly after the safety car, that he was going to be able to hold on to that, but he did. Great to see Jamie back up on the podium as well. Let's hear from the British star now, shall we?
All right then. Cheers, Jamie. He well deserves it. Anyway, in the end, only P3. Are you very disappointed about that?
Not really, to be honest. I knew that starting the race on options was a bit of a risky strategy, but obviously with so many Audis at the front of the grid, we weren't all going to do the same strategy. So it was kind of a 50-50, and I drove the wheels off the car, and third was as good as it was going to be, so I'm pretty proud of myself today.
Yeah, you can be. And of course, it's also a nice ending of the season for Audi today, isn't it? I mean, you've got the manufacturer title and 3 guys on the podium.
Yeah, it's perfect. Congratulations to BMW on winning the championship. But from Audi's point of view, we're a really strong team, and I'm starting to feel at home here now. So all in all, I'm very happy.
Well done, Jamie. Here's the Manufacturers' Championship. Audi P1, BMW P2, Mercedes-Benz P3. Outgoing champion, Mike Rockefeller.
First of all, congratulations, Rocky. You fought really hard. Second place on the podium and third in the championship.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was, you know, the goal. The maximum we could achieve today was the manufacturer's title for Audi. And for me, of course, the maximum would have been the win. And I was trying behind Matthias. I was, I think, a little bit quicker, but anyway, I was waiting till we catch Jamie. Then the safety car comes out and everything is a little bit a mess. But anyway, it was a great race. The car was really fast to drive. I enjoyed it, and unfortunately, we only had that a few times this year. And for next year, we need to keep fighting. I need to stop making mistakes, and then I think we are back in the championship fight. But nevertheless, P3 I think is not a shame. You know, it's a tough championship, and without Zandvoort I think I should have been second. So we were a bit unlucky here and there, but that's racing and that's life. And I'm still happy, and we can have a party tonight because we achieved the manufacturer's title. That's great.
I was just going to say, it is time to party tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
All right, do that. Thank you so much, Rocky.
Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship table then, shall we? Marco Wittmann, 156 points. Matthias Ekstrom does take P2, Mike Rockefeller P3, and Christian Vitorius P4 in the Drivers' Championship for DTM 2014. As the crowd assemble below the podium, we're going to see the championship podium next. And that's going to be one very happy place for Marco Wittmann. There we can see him there on the top step. Meantime, the manufacturer's trophy is presented to Dieter Gas. Looks jolly heavy, if I'm honest with you. So Dieter Gas holds that aloft. So His Royal Highness Prince Leopold of Bavaria makes the team's trophy presentation. They are heavy. Stefan Reinhold having to hold on to that from BMW team RMG. Danke fans from DTM 2014 can't wait till 2015. Hans-Joachim Stuck then makes the third place trophy to Mike Rockefeller. The DMSB president makes that presentation to the outgoing champion Mike Rockefeller, who ends up finishing P3 in the championship. Axel Wurstorn then, the senior vice president from Deutsche Post, makes the P2 trophy presentation to Matthias Ekstrom. And this is the big one. Although in physical size, I think it will be the same size as all the others. Dieter Gas and Stefan choose to put theirs down. It's going to be too heavy to hold. Can understand that. Volkmar Denner, then the chairman of the board, Robert Bosch, makes the championship trophy presentation to Marco Wittmann. You are champion. And he enjoys the moment, the pomp, the ceremony, and so he should.
Here he is, the DTM champ 2014, Marco Whitman, soaking wet and so happy. Congratulations once again. How does it feel?
Just great. I mean, really now to stand here on the podium, to get the trophies, that's really something special. To see all the fans on the racetrack, that's an unbelievable moment for me, a dream coming true. Always worked hard since I was 6 really to achieve that, and today is the day, and this is a moment which I will never forget.
Yes, now I'm curious to find out the humble words of Norbert Haug about the race, your analysis. What do you say about the race? It was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, we need more of them. We should have had more of them, I have to say. This was a really thrilling, fantastic race with a great strategy from a great drive from Matthias Ekström, a guy who deserved it. He waited for more than 3 years for a victory until Zandvoort, and then 3 weeks later he won the second time. So that just shows how crazy racing, and especially DTM, sometimes is. But it's well deserved for the up team, for Matthias, for Audi. And I think it was a very good end of the season.
Absolutely. And now let's talk about the man who didn't make it up on the podium today, but the DTM champ 2014, Marco Whitman. What a phenomenal season for him.
Yeah, tremendous. 4 wins out of 10 races. I mean, 40% of the races won. That is amazing. And he truly deserves the championship. He's a young guy coming from Formula 3. Lots of experience already right now, and the team did a fantastic job for him. Again, he was best placed BMW today, like usual, I have to say. And he truly deserves the championship, winning the championship.
And now let's look into the new year, 2015. We already heard there's not going to be an option tire. What else can we look forward to, though? What are you expecting for the new year, for the new season?
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit more easier for the spectators to follow the race, and also for us guys to describe it afterwards. There are some good discussions, positive discussions in place between the governing body, between ITR, and I think that leads in the right direction, and further step will be done. I think a lot positive things for the customers, for the spectators are in development, so we can look forward to a great season next year, I'm pretty sure.
Looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Norbert Haug. What an exciting, thrilling last race of the DTM season 2014 we saw right here. Blue skies for Audi with a triple victory. But of course, the man of the season is Marco Whitman, the champion 2014. And one thing's for sure, the DTM season next year is going to be even more thrilling. Can't wait for it to start. For now, have a fantastic time and see you next year. Till then, bye-bye.
Can go for having 2-0.